Hello everyone, this is Jamerica, and this is my spring end of winter garden tour. Today's the first day of spring, and we have a lot of things planted already. I'm in Texas in zone 9A, and I'm going to give you some of the experiences that I have in Texas and some of the things that can help you no matter where you are. So let's go ahead and get to the garden tour and some of the advice that I have, some of the experiences I've accumulated over the last, I'm not going to say how old I am, couple of years. We know. Let's get to it. Just going to give you a quick tour of what's going on in my yard. Sweet potatoes, I've been leaving these jokers out because I don't want to harden them off. Now, if you grow them in dirt like I do, some of them will grow on the sides, and these, they have roots already in the soil. So you just take them off the side and you put them directly into the ground and they'll be just fine. You don't have to put them in a bottle, a jar, nothing. They are good to go. They develop roots in the soil. These I just put out today because I just got discouraged. I got a bunch of flower seeds from the Dollar Tree. Apparently Dollar Tree flower seeds are not as prolific as the vegetables. So word to the wise. Most of these, with the exception of the mullein, are from the Dollar Tree. All the Swiss chard, the mustards are not. This is dinosaur kale. This dinosaur kale is not from there. The cabbage, the Swiss chard, not this. This is moringa. I'm trying to harden off. The tomatoes, not this. I guess half of it, huh? There's some more mustards. This is from the Dollar Tree. Guess what these are? Yes, spinach. This is what the spinach looks like. And because it has that little brown stuff on it, because the snails and the bugs were eating it up. So I just dusted it with some diatomaceous earth. That's what I have to do just to keep my plants alive. Here's some mustard. Same thing was happening to them. I need to pull him out so he get more light. That, you know what that is. Collards, right? Dinosaur kale. I did some in the ground and I leave some in containers just to hedge my bets, depending, you don't know what's going to happen with what. Sometimes the containers give out on you. Sometimes the land ones give out on you. Some more. You know what this is. Collard greens. I dug that from the winter yard. I wasn't going to let my collard greens go to waste. These down here on pineapple tops. I found some that didn't have that thing through it, and I stuck them in a bottle of water, waited till they rooted, and I planted them, and here they are. That right there is a piece of mullein that I changed out. Lavender. Nectarine trees. These are my nectarine trees that have to be planted. There are 3 of them. And I bought them because I intended to plant them ASAP. It's an orange tree. Don't get this twisted. This is a sweet orange tree. I went and got one of them. I need to get it back up and either in the ground, which I don't want to do, or in a pot. So they're probably going in pots. I know they're going in pots. I already bought the pots. Not necessarily a pot. It's a tub like what I did with the calamundin. There's the calamundin there. And here's another calamundin there. What's that stuff down there? That's eggshells. I learned this from my Jamaican grandmama. My Jamaican family. My mama's Jamaican. She was born in Kingston. So, right there. And guess what happened here? Let me see if y'all can see down there. Y'all see that? Guess what that is? Cold sowed lavender. That works. The cold sow method works. There are 4 of them coming up. Let me put this down before I, mess it up. This is something that I haven't had much luck with. This is blueberries. I'm afraid to take it out of this pot. I'm gonna have to purchase get special soil for it or something, because I have not had good luck with blueberries. Have not. And I eat blueberries. I don't want to buy them no more. I just want to have some for myself. This thing is flowering. See that? Got buds on it. It's a sweet orange tree. I have not taken the things off yet, and I need to. But this tree seems like it's strong. I got to take these straps off because that's never a good look. Here's a satsuma plum. And I'm just waiting for it to start blooming. It is alive. I've tested it. See that? You take your little fingernail and you scrape it, and if you see any green, in there, that stem or that cutting is alive. It just probably needs to be fertilized better. Here's another one, a cutting. People are afraid to buy bare roots trees. Don't be afraid to buy them because they work. There's some sprouts up there, and then I thought that I was gonna have to cut it down lower, but there's a sprout right there. See that? And you know, I took the tag off there. I don't know what this is. It's either a peach or plum. I'll figure it out. I'll get in the ground and figure it out later. This is a burgundy plum. This is bought from Willis Orchard. Anything you see with this type of tag in my yard where they hand wrote it, Willis Orchard. And this is my enemy right here. This. They're everywhere. I keep on trying to get rid of them. They keep finding a way to survive. Yes, all God's creatures have the willing, you know, the want. They want to live. Shinseki. That's what that is. Yes, it is a Shinseki pear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want a swoop, baby, swoop, doopy doop. What is that? That is a piece of fruit. What is this? I got this from Willis Orchard. That's why people like cuttings, because it's a satsuma. That's why people like cuttings, because you get mature stems that produce fruit. I'm gonna leave that little boy on there. Leave him on there and let him do what he do. Got another one down here that is, you know, flowering. This one is starting from the bottom because this stem is done. I don't see any. See, that's brown. I don't see anything in there that's alive, but down here is alive. I don't care if I get it from the bottom or the top. Oh, this is the one I got from Tractor Supply. Okay. Well, to people who don't know, you know, are afraid to buy those Tractor Supply cutting, go ahead and get them. They work. I took a chance, and the lady at the store who worked at Tractor Supply was asking me, do they really grow? Yeah, they grow. They grow. If you get them in a pot, don't put them in the ground, because I've seen some people put it directly in the ground. I don't know about that. I've never done that. I always put them in a pot. Let them go ahead and start sprouting. Leave them in there. I leave them in there for about 6-7 months till end of summer. I don't put them in the ground in summertime because it's too hot out here. It's too hot, and these will be stressed out. I'm talking about the bare roots. Regular trees that have roots already, like those over there, they're going in the ground. But these are bare roots trees. I leave them in the pot for about 6 months. Just a rule. My rule. My yard, my rule. This is a burgundy plum. This is from Willis Orchard. I tell you what, I spent a little bit extra money on Willis Orchard plants, bare roots, but you know what? They're worth it. They're worth it. I've had, how many? I think that all except 2 have already sprung up. Yep, all except 2, and these are the 2 these are 2, not pomegranate. These are mulberries. And mulberries, I'm sure it'll come up. I just have to wait. I'm gonna put some more fertilizer in there, because everything else from Willis Orchard. Let me see this one too. This must be another one. Everything else from Willis Orchard, with the exception of I think 3, have bloomed. Everything. Wait a minute. Maybe 4. I'm just gonna be patient. It's still a little chilly out here. I'm out here with my short sleeves on, but I'm a little cold. So I have a sweet Hamlin orange. I got this from the big box store. I believe so. I buy so many trees, I forget where I get them from sometimes. These 2 I got online. You'll see a video on that shortly. I have not upplanted my Hamlin oranges, but they're going to end up just like the calamundins. The calamundins are tart or sour, and these are sweet. Sweet and sour. Yay. Right here, taro root. I have seen The big box stores sell taro plants for $30 a pot. Go to the supermarket and go and buy some little taro roots. Go and buy some little taro roots. Put them in a bowl with some bananas or some onions, and they will start sprouting. Once they start sprouting, you just go ahead and put them in the ground, and then you'll have this. This look like, oh, I know what they remind me of: elephant ears. They have been mistaken for elephant ears because this is this. They don't stay this small. They get quite big, and these are from last year. I have a video on it. I planted these last year, and they're still around. They're still here. They will come up every year, and they can go through a freeze. I'm not saying that if you're in Alaska or something. I'm just saying a Texas freeze where we have short spurts, they're underground, and they'll come up. They'll even come up when you have them. I'm sorry, I'm shaking you guys. In a pot. This was out here all winter long, and there they are, 3 of them. And they spread out. They're like banana bushes. People call it banana trees, but they start off with one, and then they send off pups, and they become a big old plant. So go ahead and get it. And then you just break them apart and put them wherever you want to. This behind it, this is broccoli and cauliflower. And I have broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Swiss chard. There's a mixture of stuff here. I even have some mustards in here somewhere. It's all mixed in with the perennial plants, just like a jungle. My jungle, though, the one I developed in my mind years ago. I told my cousin and her husband, they were like, what are you gonna do with all that land? Because there was nothing back here. And I had a picture of a gazebo with a bunch of rose bushes, and the only thing that this thing does not have is that they had a pond on the picture. I don't want to get a pond because that's too many mosquitoes. Plus, it's gonna kill me to keep it watered because it gets really hot out here. Walk around with this thing in my hand. I might let him go in the backyard. Spare him. I spare him every now and then. That's where my cabbage from over there, the jungle that used to be the winter garden. So I moved them right here. I don't know if they're going to come to a head. I'll just start, harvesting the leaves because they're not heading up like the other ones that are in the cement trays. I did show you these, right? You can buy cement trays from the big box stores. They're $9 for the small one and about $20 for the bigger one. And you grow your cabbage in there. You grow anything in there. I've grown okra. What else did I grow in there? Sugarcane, corn. You grow stuff in here. Go ahead and get a cement tray if you have the room. And this thing is begging to get away from me. So that is my cabbage. That is already starting to come to a head because it's a little chilly here. It's a little chilly. That's all right. And this is called square space gardening, where you just pack stuff in so much you don't have to worry about weeds. And you could do that with your in-ground also. That's what I'm attempting to do with this space. In my mind, if a weed could grow back there, so can one of my plants. And that back there, you see that big old plant back there with the purple flowers? That's comfrey. That's from last year. Comfrey will come back. And this snail is begging me, please let me go. Let's go over here. I'll let him go over in the back once I get back there. These are my strawberries. I only see like 3 of them so far. That's one right there. These are bare root strawberries that I got from Wally World. And there's one right there, and there's one right there. So we'll see. Mulberry tree. Hey baby. Hey baby. How you doing? There you go. Mulberries. I had a mulberry tree when I was a little girl. My grandma had a mulberry tree in the backyard. And we ate mulberries. Until she cut the tree down because she said she got tired of the mess. So here's a mulberry tree. It's right in between the crepe myrtles. It's surrounded by crepe myrtles. Let me back up and let you see the gravity of the situation. So I believe that's a pink mulberry. Not mulberry. That's a pink crepe myrtle. All 3 of these are all white. That one's pink. That's a pomegranate bush. Mulberry. It's all different kind of mulberries. I bought them at different times, but the youngest one is about 15 years old. I planted them as little itty bitty saplings. You'd be surprised what time can do. Time and a little bit of care. Here are some Chicago figs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. And in between those are asparagus. And I've been saying I'm going to mulch this in for years. I haven't gotten around to it. That container right there is nothing but, used to have carrots in it. But I'm going to use that soil for something else. Because that is soil I purchased. Look at down here. They're everywhere. See them? That's 2. Now you got a friend. There you go. You ain't alone. You are not alone. I am here with you. He is begging to get away. I'm going to have mercy on him. I sure am. Both of them. So here is a, not a plum tree. This is a nectarine tree. These 2 are nectarine trees. They seem to be doing fine. It's going to rain tonight, so I didn't put any water down. I pray that it does what they say it's going to do. And here's one that don't look like it's going to make it. I got this from the supermarket. And all of it had leaves and flowers on it when I bought it, but when I put it in the ground, it just dropped everything. So I'm a little sad about that. I might take that back. Here's the other one. I didn't buy it from the same place I bought this from, the big box store, starting with the C, the one you have to pay and be a member. And it's doing just fine. And this thing was like $25. They had them in there super cheap. They don't have any more. I went back there yesterday? Look at them. They didn't have no more. None. They were all gone. Because they're running for $45 at other places. Speaking of $45 trees, my peach tree. Peaches. I love this plant. And look, I might get some. Well, I'll get some peaches. I sure will. I had one of these peaches, and man, that was one of the best peaches I've ever had. So when let me bring back to my poor snail friend who is probably worried about his life. I take him back here to the wood pile. I have a wood pile back here, and I throw him in. I hope it didn't crack his shell. There he is. I didn't mean that was so hard. All right. Somebody's cooking. I smell bacon. Lord have mercy. Bless your soul. Let's go up. This is my lime tree. You know one of the ones that I mummified? Lime tree number 1 and lime tree number 2. I only had a couple of lime trees that died all the way back. And this one is one of them. I forgot to put the pot back over it. It has a root structure and it will probably come back. So I'm going to leave it there. The stump, I'm going to leave it there. And if I see another, like I did last summer, a sprig came up. If there is any root left on a lime tree or a citrus tree for that matter, they'll sprout back up. Don't cut them down. These are 2 limbs that I need to cut off. And look at this. Let me show you something about these snails. Look in there. Let me take my nail because they're protected because this thing has thorns on it. They're all in there. This is where they hid when I covered them with the plastic. They all slid their butts up in here and kept nice and warm and alive from my work. But the lime tree is doing fine. It has flowers on it, so I'll get a bunch of limes. I'll get a whole bunch of limes this year. Moving on. So the rule in Texas is if your pecan tree buds out, winter is over. So hopefully the pecan tree is right. That's a Texas saying. I'm just following what they say. I'm not the one who developed that rule. I am in Rome and I'm doing what the Romans do. I am in Texas and I'm saying what the Texans say. If your pecan tree buds out, spring is here. This is the apple trees. They have not budded yet, but I can tell by the way they're pliable that they are alive. I just have to be patient and wait. Put some fertilizer down there to try to help them bud out, but I guess it's just not time. I haven't had luck with apples before, so I'll be happy if they do what they're supposed to do. Here's my other peach tree with my peaches. They're all over the place. Yay! Yay! There's another lime tree. Another lime tree. You know, all the ones that I covered up, especially this one. I wrap them up like babies in a blanket. Shoot, better than babies in a blanket. Come on, Philly. Here is the one pecan tree that has not budded out yet. It has not budded out yet. So we'll see. See that? Is that a bud? It's pliable, so it's still alive. We'll see what goes on with that. Oh, this is something I hardly ever show you guys. In the dark recess corners of this yard, I have a cactus. Now, let me tell you how I got this cactus. There are farms around here, right? And on the outskirts of their barbed wire fence, they usually have wild cactuses. So I went and grabbed just a little piece, like a leaf. And there it is. I had to move. And you know these snails, look at them. They could even withstand the pokes of a cactus. Who is that? Philomena, come on. Look at that. So this one lives back here. I don't know what these are. I don't care either. I don't come in this corner that much. And this is how you get mosquitoes. You gotta dump your water. Turn that upside down. That won't happen again. Not with my yard. That is a mosquito pool right there. All right, here goes another peach tree that was from It is from Tractor Supply. And let me see. Yeah, it's pliable. It just hasn't sprouted out yet. I'm gonna put some fertilizer. I did put fertilizer down there. So hopefully the rain will wash down some of that fertilizer and this thing will go ahead and sprout like the rest of them have. This one is older than that one that I planted out there. It's older than that one right there. Why every time I put my hand out it gets blurry? That one out there near the past the pecan tree, near the lime tree, yeah. This one's older than all of them and it's not doing that well. Well, this is the oldest right here. So this pecan tree or bush, that's why it's a bush, because when they die back, they come back bushy. They're not trees anymore. They turn into bushes, which is fine because you still get the fruit. But just know that you are not going to have a tree. If it dies back, it's going to come back bushy. Okay? I can only speak. That's a miniature peach tree. What am I saying? Pecan bush. It's a peach tree that died all the way down. It was a bare roots tree that died all the way down to nothing. And I nursed it back to health. And this is what happened. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. It's doing a good job. It's been here for, I don't know, 17 years. Long time. Long time. This is one of the first trees I planted. Yeah, one of the first. So is this. This ain't one of the first. This is a little sapling that I took off one of these crepe myrtles. Crepe myrtles are weeds, by the way. I'm not going to say they're weeds. But if you plant them, you make sure you want them there because I've been trying to knock her down for a long time. I guess she said she's going to be there and that's it. That's the end of the story. I ain't got nothing to say about it. She has decided that this is her home. So welcome to the family. I'm saying that begrudgingly. Another thing that I'm not too happy about, and I did not plant this. The first owners did. This is oleander. I know she looked bad, but she's still alive because I see the little green coming up. So oleander is pretty. It's really beautiful. It has beautiful flowers, all kind of different flowers. But do you know that oleander is very poisonous? It'll give a person a heart attack. Do not eat this. Do not eat this. Do not drink tea. Don't even burn it, because even burning it can cause illness, serious illness. So this is one of the things that I put in the back corner of the property and let decompose. Can't burn it, can't do anything with it. It's pretty though. It's pretty until, one of your kids eat a leaf and then you have to go to the emergency room. So I wouldn't recommend that tree to anybody. Just saying. This one right here, I tried with that tent to cover it up, and the tenting it was not enough. I should have put a blanket on this lime tree. Should have put a blanket on it. It's a key lime tree. I know what it is because it used to be in the just out the back door with that other one. So the tent saved it because you could see the green stems, but it didn't save it enough not to have all the leaves get knocked off or knocked down. So I believe I put some there's fertilizer down there. And why do I have snails in my hand? I got more snails begging for their life. I just keep picking them up. So these are not going to the backyard. They're going to chickens. I've done my good deed for the day. So this will leaf back out if you have just stems, or even if your tree is brown and it's a citrus tree, leave it there for a couple of months. I recommend not digging it up at all, because sometimes they'll come back as late summer, early fall. If there's any root left on a citrus tree, it'll survive. I know from experience. I have a video when I first started YouTube with my dying citrus trees. I believe they were these lemon trees over here. They were getting ready to go to. Yeah, it was these. All of them had died back last year. All except one, that biggest lime tree. So this year I tented them, and some of the tents did better than others. Next time I use that tent, look at that. Next time I use that tent, I'm going to put some blankets around the tree and then put the tent over it, because the tent was not enough to save, to save it from the harsh, blurp of cold weather that we had. Here's another one. This one was also tented. So is this one. And I told you, citrus trees, if you have a green stem, the leaves will come back one by one. Leave it there. And over here, let's see what we have over here. Tomatoes. I planted these recently. That cabbage has been there for a long time. You can look at it and tell that the snails have devoured it, but it's okay. And I put these up here because I'm going to try the French weave on my tomato bushes. I'm not sure if these bamboo sticks are strong enough, but I'm willing to try. So I did a line of those. And on the sides, I have garlic. I know you can't tell. Here it is. These are garlic. I have some onion seeds or onion bulbs that I need to put in the ground. So I'm going to put the onions in between the garlic and line this thing out to try to ward off some of the pests. But onions do not stop snails. They don't. I don't know what kind of pest it wards off, but it doesn't include these jokers. And that's what I have the problem with. These and roly-polies. Roly-polies. This is another reason why I start a lot of my plants indoors, because the bug pressure. See that? I'm gonna bring it close. So you see those? Those will kill your plants, or they'll kill not your plants. They'll kill a little seedling. They will yam it down to nothing. So go ahead and put them out when they're old enough to fight for themselves. I just keep seeing snails. Every day I come out here and I do the same thing. Collect these jokers. If I see them, I put them in my hand, I give them to the chickens. Or, one or two, they survive. This is where the okra was. I don't care if they eat that down. It doesn't bother me. Here's another bare roots tree that I got from Tractor Supply last year. It's an Ayers pear, and it has flowers on it this year. So this is a pear tree. Pear trees So that's a flowering pear right there. That's not really a pear. That's just pretty. I have a flowering pear there, and I have another one back there with a bench around it. But this is an Ayers pear. If you plant a pear tree, plant it more than one. Here is another pear tree right here, right? And there's another one right here that I staked up because they were leaning. They were doing the gangster lean when I put them out here. They haven't budded out yet, but they're alive. So the Ayers pear was the first one to wake up. Hopefully, there's nothing to pollinate it except for that flowering pear. There's one back there too, and I don't think that counts. So I don't know. I might have to go and buy another Ayers pear because it needs a pollinator. Pears have to be planted in pairs or more. So you have to have 2 or more pear trees to get anything. You have 1 pear tree, you're not going to get any fruit. So that's the rule with pears. Let's go back over to the other side. Let me see if I forgot anything. Here's some more citrus trees right here. All of my grapes, with the exception of one, passed away. And it wasn't the winter that got them. I still have the stems here. It wasn't the winter that got them. It was the summer, the drought. The drought got them. All I have left is sticks. See that? Yep. I'm gonna leave the sticks there as a memoir of what happened. So here's my other lemon trees, and these are Meyer lemon trees. It's right here. I covered these jokers with a bucket, 5-gallon bucket. Another snail. I gotta put this bed together. You know, this is my subconscious mind protesting raised beds. This thing is only maybe a foot high. This is really considered in ground. I mean, if you only have a foot high, I guess if you put plastic under it, it could be considered a raised bed, but I'll eventually put it together. My mind just ain't right. My mind just can't do it right now. So I still have remnants of flowers on my miniature peach tree. Birds usually eat most of those. I don't really enjoy these peaches. They're really bitter. I was like, And you know, if you buy a tree that says it's a dwarf or it's a miniature peach tree and you put it in the ground, it is not going to stay that way. Look at this snail. Look at him. Wait, there's 2 of them sliding around. They ain't gonna be sliding around for long. So if you buy a new miniature one and you put it in the ground, this is what happens. It ain't miniature no more. Miniature is just for potted plants. My opinion. My opinion. You can talk to an expert. They might say something different, but from what I have experienced, you put it in the ground, it's gonna blow up. Just like a regular tree. Just the fruits are just gonna be small. So I think I've showed you everything. Oh, let me get rid of these because they getting on my last nerve. Last nerve. They want to jump down so bad. You're going to get down in a minute. See? Told you. It's all over. It was a quick death. All right. Let's move on. Where's my dog? Philomena. Oh, she's behind me. We got another side that I need to take you to. And that is... Let's go through the valley. I showed you the mulberry, right? Okay. It's on the other side of Chicken Coop. My blackberries, I don't think they made it. We leave a little patch here because the blackberries are supposed to be here, but I don't think they're coming back. I think the Texas sun took them. Learning stuff, you know, after years and years of trying to grow stuff in ground, certain plants just don't like clay soil. Just doesn't. So just have to deal with the hand that I was dealt, right? At least I could grow something. I hear sand is worse. Clay holds on to nutrients. So here's where my spoon tomatoes was last year. I don't know if they're gonna come back because a lot of them fell on the ground. A lot of them fell on the ground, so you can see the stems, where they used to be. I think I'm gonna put cucumbers along here so that I could grow it along top of this thing and give the chickens some shade. They think I'm gonna give them something to eat. They always think I got something for it. I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing. You get nothing. So let's go and show you what I came over here to show you besides these crazy chickens. That's a pomegranate bush right there. I know you can see there's weeds there. Something just moved. There's pomegranate bush right there. That's a pomegranate bush right there. That's one right there. That's one right there. And that's one right there. My experience, you plant a pomegranate bush somewhere, that's where it's going to be, because it's not going to die. All of them are alive, and they could take a drought. So I think that'll do it for now. I'll introduce you to the chicken crew one day, because I've named a lot of them. Only the ones that I want to keep. That's my unnamed birds. They might get sold to the highest bidder. Oh man. So I thank you guys for being with me. I know this has been a little bit longer than I normally am. I'm trying to make them longer because I guess you get more information when people, explain things. But there are some trees and bushes that are easy to grow. Figs, pomegranate, mulberry, and peaches. Those trees are easy. Oh, and if you got warmth, lemon and lime and any citrus tree is easy to grow in ground if you live in a warm climate. If not, go ahead and put it in a pot and do your best to make sure that it stays warm. Small crops like cabbage, brassicas, they seem to like winter. Swiss chard can take the summer heat, the Texas summer heat, and the Texas cold. So can kale. I don't know. They just survive. Cabbage can take cold too. Cabbage cannot take heat. Cabbage can't take heat. They'll go to flower. Broccoli will go to flower. Cauliflower will go to flower. So do those in the fall time if you're in the South. Asparagus, grow that. I grow that inside and then I bring it outside and hide it off. In Texas, our bug population is high. At least where I am in Central Texas. Bug population is super high. Let me show you. They even climb up on the trees and try to eat them. Grow your stuff, your seedlings indoor, no matter what it is. There are some people like, oh, just start it in the ground. If you start it in the ground, you're gonna lose some. You're gonna lose some seedlings. You're gonna lose, or you might lose all of them. Roly-polies will wipe you out. Roly-polies, birds, rabbits, they'll dig your stuff up and eat it to nothing. So if that's what you want to do, and if you have extra seeds, go ahead and do that. But hedge your bet by planting some in the house, getting them to a substantial size, like this size, and start hardening them off outside in a place where bugs can't get to it. Look what happened to my spinach. They were eating this stuff alive. It was the snails. The snails were coming in at night and yamming down all of my spinach. And I couldn't grow spinach. I didn't know how to grow it until this was an accident. This was like a desperate act. I just threw some seeds into a cement tray and left it out in the yard over winter. I thought it was cabbage because I threw a cabbage packet on top of the cement tray, and that was not the truth because I kept on looking at it. It was little for a long time, and then I realized it was spinach. But the bugs came in and started eating it. And I couldn't catch them. In the daytime, you don't see any bugs. Down here where I live, they attack at night. 11 o'clock at night, all them snails start slithering their way in, a legion of them. It was so many snails out here that I was stepping on snails, picking them up and putting them in jars. Not jars. I finally threw out some poison and it got it under control. But I had to pick that up from the ground. That's in a cement tray. That's what I say about raised bed. That cement tray is at least, what, 8 inches high? They just crawled right on up there, got in there, ate what they wanted, and by daybreak, they were gone. There's no sign of any bugs in that container. So that is why I start things inside, because a bigger plant can recuperate from a bug attack or a rabbit attack more than a baby seedling that just came out of the ground can do. They just eat that and go on to the next one. They'll wipe out your whole crop. So, you know, there are some people saying don't start it. Now, beets, turnips, you could probably throw those out because those are resilient. But stuff that you really, really want, start it inside in a Dixie cup and then bring it out. Even corn and okra, I start that inside. So I've had them eat my stuff. Unless you, and there's another reason why you could do it outside. If you have a bunch of seeds, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and start it inside. But if you in a time crunch or you only have a limited amount of seeds, start it indoors. I'm just warning you. This is based on experience from a person who has had rabbits and all kind of animals take what I worked so hard for, even after I started them in the house. Anyway, I thank you guys for being with me, and I hope you all learned something from this, this garden tour. I hope so. That's my intention, to always, spread whatever little bit. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I'm trying to let people know what I know. I don't hold on to my knowledge. Everybody needs to know how to do this, and I don't want anybody to experience some of the losses that could be avoidable if they knew something. So this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.